Hi everyone, how are you doing? This is Sandra8675 and I hope you're all doing really well. If you're new to the channel, I just want to let new people know that this is a channel about SL lifestyle. So that basically means I cover anything about SL under the sun that I feel like doing. If you want to follow me on any of my social media, all of the links are going to be located down below. I know I still have my Christmas decor up. I'll tell you, it took forever for me to get this house decorated in Christmas decor, so it is staying up through January, I decided. So that is why you see, Rudolph in the background and some Christmas cupcakes and stuff like that. I worked way too hard on it to be taking it down already. I don't know how fast you guys could get your homes decorated in decor, but I am super slow at it. I need to work at being faster at it. So today, I am going to be doing a video. I'm going to be responding to a video Meela Vanderbuilt made. And for those of you who don't know Meela, she makes many shopping and tutorial type videos on SL, very informative. She's very knowledgeable. She's been on SL a long time and knows a lot of tricks to get things done. And it's always beneficial to watch her channel. I will be leaving her channel link down below in the description box if you wish to follow her or watch any of her stuff. So, on October 10th, she made a video. It is called Things to Know About Creating an SL Brand from a 3D artist. And the video is based on a 3D creator for SL. His name is MUSU. And the store he has is called MUSU. I have been wishing to make this response video for quite a while now. I've actually already talked to Meela about it and told her I was going to do it. She gave me a total thumbs up about it. Actually, as far as MUSU goes and his store MUSU, just as a disclaimer, this is not a video to throw anyone under the bus. It is not anything to say anything bad about his store. I actually like the items in the store, just for the record. I like his stuff. This is strictly about the conversation Meela had with MUSU about 3D artists and what they expect from bloggers in SL. I have some feelings about it, and I thought I would respond to it. I don't talk a lot about my real life experiences in SL. I like to keep it, SL based. But I will say that I do have an extensive amount of experience in dealing with the advertising line of work. So I will just say that I have had a blog in the past for makeup that it was kind of like, I guess part of it was makeup reviews, but I would talk about new releases and things like that. The blog did fairly well. I had that up for a couple years. I did take it down. It's not up anymore, but it was a good experience. And I do have experience with web design, like I said, blogging myself. And then obviously I promote for my YouTube channel as much as I can. I do have a real life job. I can't do it as much as I used to do it, but I do it as much as I can. So anyway, that being said, I do have some experience in kind of dealing with this type of stuff. I do have some opinions. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be listening to Meela talking to MUSU, and I'm going to be making comments about what they're talking about. I'm not going to be using any actual clips from Meela's video. I don't like doing that, but I will be talking about what they are talking about. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's do this. Okay, so in the intro, Meela was talking to MUSU about what type of stuff he sells in a store. And MUSU was saying that he doesn't stick to one type of genre, that he sells clothing, weapons, and a whole bunch of stuff in a store. So interesting. And like I said, I have seen the stuff at a store before. Usually I'm more focused on clothing items. And I do like weapons also. I will be leaving a link for MUSU's store down below if you wish to shop there. Like I said, he makes very interesting type stuff, so feel free to take a look at it. So initially, Meela and Moose are getting into talking about weekend sales, like the weekend sale where everything is 60 lindens. And Moose was just saying that, it's kind of, and again, I'm paraphrasing, but he was just making a comment that it's a lot of pressure for the creator because they're kind of trying to pump the things out every week or what have you. I don't know exactly what the agreement is between the weekend sale people and the creators. I don't know if the creators are forced to place an item in the sale every single week or if they could place an item every 2 weeks. Or, I don't know how many items they're having to get out there for consumers to buy. I think part of the issue personally is the way I look at it is that it's a lot of pressure for the creator, because if you're trying to create an actual unique item for a weekend sale every week, that's a lot. And I've said in past videos that I have attempted to use Blender in the past. Oh boy, is that program difficult to learn how to use. I'm sure once you start using it, it becomes something that you can get used to. But at the beginning, trying to learn it's a lot. And I cannot imagine trying to make a mesh product that's unique to place in a weekend sale once a week or once every 2 weeks. That would just be a lot for me. Then if you're trying to place items in events and stuff on top of that, it's just a lot of creating. And Moose was also making the point that there's a lot of money that stands to be made from these weekend sales. You can make a lot, but it's a lot of work. And he was also saying, which I found very interesting, that it costs about 2,000 to 4,000 linden to enroll in an event. Like, in other words, it costs the creator 2,000 to 4,000 linden to place any unique items in an event. So if you're spending that many lindens and then you don't make sales, that can be an issue for the creator because, there's money that was put out, but no income was made. So it's just all very interesting. And then Meela does make the interesting point, which I've even noticed myself and a lot of people have, is that it's extremely hard to keep up with the events in SL. I mean, the amount of sales that they have going on is staggering. It's mind-blowing. When I look for sales and events and things like that, it's more than you could even look at. Because sometimes I'll look at the weekend sales, and then since I'm already on websites searching for events and items and things like that, a lot of times I'll look at events are taking place, and events basically are sales of, multiple vendors in one place that you could go to. It's just so many. I don't know how a store would keep track of doing that. Like, looking at it from the store's perspective, that you're trying to, pay the event fees, put unique items in the events. And I don't really know if it's okay for the creator to have the same item in 2 different events. I kind of think that's probably not okay. So it's just a very high pressure situation, and the events are scheduled so closely together and they overlap. It's just crazy, because I know, again, just speaking from my own perspective, but goodness, after the Black Friday sales, which I hit up pretty hard, and then I went to the Shop Hop event, it's kind of like, it's almost like you need a little bit of space in between the events to just be able to, look through the stuff you already have and get excited about going to a new event. But there's no space in between the events. They all overlap constantly. Meela did make a comment about people thinking that creators are unapproachable on SL. I do have a comment to make about this, and again, this is only coming from my experience, my own personal perspective, and I do plan on making another video more specific to this in the future. But as far as creators go, I don't think that they're unapproachable, meaning when I'm in a store and I need to write to a creator about something, I don't really hesitate to do so. If I need something or have a legit question, I don't have a problem writing to somebody about that. However, something I have noticed that does happen sometimes is that you will write to a creator with a legit question and the creator will just never get back to you. Moose made the comment that he prefers for people not to spam him, which I totally agree with. You don't want people spamming you. But, there's some creators that I've written to with a legit question, and all they have to do is get back to me and say, hey, that's possible or it's not possible. But yeah, there's some creators that I've written to that I have yet to hear from to this day. And on the other hand, there's other creators, like, for example, the creator from Static. She had some horns available at an event, which I totally missed the event because of my real life work schedule. I lost track of how many days the event was open or when it closed. I was looking forward to going back to the event and grabbing the horns. Unfortunately, the event closed and I looked in her store. She didn't have the horns in the store. So I wrote to her and I was like, hey, I really like these horns. I just want to buy them. Can I still get them? I was not aware and didn't know if they were exclusive, meaning if they were just made for that specific event. And you know what? She got back to me in 24 hours and she said she put them on MP and they were available. And that was all I wanted. I know it's difficult. I know that some brands are busier than others, and some of the creators just do it themselves. They don't have customer service reps working for them. I don't expect people to get back to me in 24 hours or less. But it's nice when they do get back to you and answer a question or whatever. Because I could honestly say most of the time I'm not looking for an argument. Sometimes I just have a question saying, hey, does this come in a size for my Treya? Or hey, my big question, is there a demo for this? I didn't see a demo in the store, or I didn't see a demo at the event. Can I try this item on? It's stuff like that. So, it's nice when the creator gets back to you and gives you a chance to purchase the item, which is really all you want to do. And then Moose brings up an interesting point, which can be a full-fledged video all on its own, which I may in fact be touching base on here soon. But Moose brings up the fact that it's difficult for him as a creator to know if people like his items if he's not getting positive feedback from customers. Part of the way that creators on SL get feedback from their customers is by using Facebook, Flickr, maybe a couple other things, but basically they rely on Flickr a lot, I know, for SL. And I know Facebook can be very useful to some people. I'm not a big advocate of Facebook, but I know people use it and have a great deal of luck using it as far as business-wise. That's kind of an easy way for creators to get feedback from people. I think this harkens back to people understanding or having the want or need to help support the creator, or even to help or support SL. This could even go for YouTube creators. The more people give a thumbs up, like the video, don't like the video, leaves a comment, not just a comment saying, hey, this is a cool thing you created for MP, or hey, this is a cool video. Like, that's very general. It's nice to get, and that's, I like it, but it's nice to get something a lot more specific, because when you start getting specific, that's when you could improve what you're putting out there. And the more creators can improve what they're putting out there, the better the platform will be and the better the items will be that are pushed out. The thing I myself have noticed about Flickr is I did try using Flickr in the beginning because I know Flickr and SL, they work well together, supposedly. Even Moose made the comment that, if you don't have a lot of followers and a lot of interaction on Flickr specifically, that your odds of being able to blog for his company or even another brand are slim. The one thing I have to say about Flickr is it's very touchy. I noticed that a lot of people will follow you, but it's harder to get likes on Flickr. This is solely from my own experience. And then if you go and you put a specific link that the person needs to click on to, get to another section or to look at something else on Flickr, It's rare that people will make usage of the links, and it's also rare that people will leave comments on Flickr. I know there's always exceptions to the rule. I'm just speaking from my own experience. So I was getting a lot of follows on Flickr. I could tell I could follow the links that I make, and I could tell that it was extremely rare that the links were being followed or used. I just kind of got out of the practice of using it. I didn't find it very useful. Anyway, a lot of the store brands like MUSU and other brands do rely on Flickr, and they feel that that's an important tool to use for promotion. So about the 15:37 mark in Meela's video is when MUSU and Meela start discussing bloggers, which is exactly why we are here making this video. The other stuff is interesting, but the blogger portion is what I'm most interested in making comments on. That is what I have the most opinion about. And so MUSU made the comment in the video that he does use a lot of bloggers. Let's kind of analyze what MUSU is saying about bloggers. And again, I want to say the disclaimer that this is not throwing anybody under the bus. All of my comments are based on my own experiences and my own opinions. Okay, so MUSU made the comment that the things he looks for in bloggers are that he wants them to be on time, to meet deadlines, and to make sure that the item that is supposed to be shown in the picture, meaning the thing he created, is clear in the photo, and so that the person looking at the photo knows what they're looking at and understands that that is the item that's on sale. The gray area for me with blogging in SL comes from the fact that the bloggers do not get paid. That part alone is extremely confusing to me. The way that the bloggers get quote-unquote paid in SL is that they will blog an item, they will get a fat pack of something. Now, whether they get to choose the fat pack or maybe they get the new fat pack that's being released, I don't know, but they get a fat pack. MUSU was just saying that there are times that a blogger will be blogging for several stores at the same time. So he was just saying that, you know, they might get a fat pack from him, from his store MUSU. They might get a fat pack from 3 more stores. So in essence, they've gotten 3 fat packs. And seems to be of the opinion, because I don't want to put words in his mouth, but he seems to be of the opinion that that is enough of an exchange of services to be even. So that's more like a bartering thing. Like, you blog for me, I'll give you a fat pack. Where I have issue with that concept is that as far as even taking photos in SL, anybody would tell you it takes a decent amount of time to take a good photo. So it takes a decent amount of time to dress your AVI to look a certain way. By the time you dress the AVI, you get to a location, you take the photo, and you're taking several photos, and then you're also expected to show the item, whatever it is, which that makes sense. I'm not saying it doesn't make sense. I'm just saying there's time involved that the blogger is putting into this process. And then on top of that, the blogger is supposed to meet deadlines, and the deadlines may be hard to meet or they may be easy to meet. I don't know. It depends on the blogger. For me, it would be difficult to meet deadlines in a process of trying to blog for someone like that, because I have a real life job and I have other things going on, and I'm trying to blog for SL also. And I am of the opinion that if you give someone some type of monetary gain for doing a service, that it motivates the person to be a lot more inclined to meet deadlines, to go out of their way to take a photo in a location like you want or what have you. But because there's no monetary gain, there's a fat pack. I don't know. I have issue with that. And where MUSU is kind of coming from, I feel, is that he is saying, hey, I took my time, my effort, my patience to create the fat pack, to put it out there, to package it, give it to you. However, the kind of gray area in that, and again, I'm playing devil's advocate here, but as far as any creator, yes, they create the item, they create the fat pack. It's an item, and it does have a certain type of value, meaning they sell it, but it's one item that they've created. Once they create it, they don't create it again and again. It's already created. Like if they create package A fat pack, you know, whatever that's a fat pack of, it's already done. So what any creator is doing is that they'll give the blogger the fat pack, but that person, that brand, that company might have 5 or 6 bloggers or more. Who knows? They might have more, they might have less. It doesn't really matter. But they have more than one blogger, depending on how much they want to push that product. They're giving the same fat pack to everyone, so it's not like they're creating a specific special fat pack for Anne and then they're creating a different special fat pack for Susan. It's not like everybody's getting a different fat pack. They're all getting the same one because the work on the fat pack has already been done. I guess what I'm trying to say here is that they do make the fat pack and it does have a value, meaning it has value if it sells, but they're giving that same fat pack to multiple people for a service that's usually in general worth more than the price of the fat pack from the get-go. Because let's break this down here. Let's say that a fat pack that a creator gives a blogger is worth 2,000 linden. Okay, they could be worth more, they could be worth less, but let's just say it's worth 2,000 linden. So I just looked it up on SL.com. 2,000 linden is translates to about $8.30 for 2,000 linden. This is the thing. I'm telling you right now that by the time I take a photo of the item and I start pushing it on social media, meaning I start putting it on Facebook, on Twitter, on Flickr. I start trying to get people to recognize the image, thumbs up, thumbs down, comments, talking about it. I might even put it on a blog that I have. If I'm serious about it, I'm going to be putting it on a blog, talking about it there. All of that stuff is very time consuming. All of those things combined are worth more than $8.30. That's what I'm saying. Like in real life, if I were to do a job like that, I would not be charging somebody $8.30 to do all that. I don't know. It's hard for me to say how much I would charge for a job like that. Believe me, it would be more than $8. And part of MUSU's point is that he said, well, you know, they're getting more than one fat pack. They're getting a fat pack from me, then they're like blogging for this other brand, and they're getting a fat pack from this other brand. But the thing is, that does not matter. It does not matter how many people I'm blogging for. If I'm blogging for one person or 56 other brands, it does not matter if I'm getting 56 fat packs from each one of those brands. What another brand gives me has nothing to do with what, say, Moose gives me for blogging for him. Like, he was kind of, I don't even know what to call it. He was kind of saying, well, you know, like if I give you a 2,000 linden fat pack and another brand gives you a 2,000 linden fat pack, then you have gotten the equivalent of 4,000 linden. But why does it matter what another brand gives me? That has nothing to do with your brand. If the other brand gives me, say, a 10,000 linden fat pack, that still has nothing to do with what I get from any of the other companies. They're not linked. It doesn't matter. And so you can't say, well, you know, I'm giving you a 500 linden fat pack, but it's okay because this other brand is giving you a 12,000 linden fat pack, so it all evens out. It's like, no, it doesn't. No. Each brand has to be fair to the blogger. It does not matter how many people they blog for. So that is one point I wanted to make because it kind of stuck in my head. I was like, no. It does not matter how many people I blog for or do not blog for. Each brand has to treat the blogger fairly within itself, like the blogger is not blogging for anyone else. And, you know, with all due respect, the blogger has to treat the brands individually also, like they are not cutting corners and not doing a thorough job just because they are blogging for multiple people. All right, so it goes both ways. Moose went on to state timeliness is of the essence, which I could understand where he's coming from because he's applied to put his items in these events. There's deadlines on his end. He's trying to do the creating, trying to get everything ready, talk to the vendors, all of that type of stuff. So he's dealing with that end of things. And then he stated, hey, if the blogger needs to take, say, 3 weeks or more off, they probably won't be a blogger for that store anymore because it messes up his deadline. And I'm hearing or reading in between the lines that there's a little bit of a trust issue, meaning you have to trust the blogger to follow through and meet those tight deadlines. I do understand that concept, but again, I keep going back to it, and I don't mean to keep repeating myself, but I have a problem with not paying the bloggers. Like, if you want to give them a fat pack, I think it's cool. I think it's fine. It's nice. I think it's great that you're giving them an item you made because it's helping promote your item also. If they happen to wear it in a picture or whatever, that's promotion also, so that's cool, that works. People are motivated by money, so if you pay people decent money to do a job, then they will tend to meet deadlines. They will tend to get the job done regardless of what's going on. I have a real life job, but if I were, say, blogging for SL for some type of brand and somebody offers me a fat pack, that's cool. But if they offer me money, then I'm more like, hey, when I get home from work, I got to dedicate a certain amount of time doing this. It's got to get done. The motivation is there more than if they're just giving a fat pack. I think that's part of the thing that's kind of being missed with the bloggers is that Moose stated it, but I'm sure he's not the only one. He's not the only creator out there. It's frustrating for him when bloggers don't follow through, when they don't meet the deadlines, when they don't do the photos, when they don't do what they're supposed to do, when they need time off, because it's screwing up the deadlines. And I get that. I could see that from his end, but I'm just saying, you throw some money at people, they get more motivated to do what they need to do. Money makes motivation happen. Meela does make the point that in real life, like in, say, fashion magazines or what have you, that there would be a content schedule. There's seasons. That helps people meet these proverbial deadlines that we're talking about here. In SL, there's deadlines, but they're based on nothing because, like I said at the beginning of the video, the sales overlap each other. It's just crazy. Like, I usually look at the weekend sales, and that's when I'm looking at events also. There's sometimes more than 5, sometimes there's as many as 10, and that's consistent. It's constant, nonstop overlapping of these events. You have to question, when is there time to make any type of content schedule? There's no time, because they're pumping out the events so fast. It's really putting the creators and bloggers in this place of pressure because they're just trying to play catch up constantly. And it makes it hard on everyone is what it does, because there is no right or wrong in the situation. It's just the way it is in SL. And Meela makes the point also, the content, meaning how quickly the events are being pushed out, the weekend sales, all that stuff, being dictated by the brands. Because, if you break it down more than just the surface level, the brands want to make a profit. They want more events. They want more sales. They want more bloggers covering their events because they want to make the profit. It is being dictated by the brands, and I don't know when there's any give in that. Like when somebody says, hey, this is like really too much, let's slow it down a little bit, because ever since I've joined SL, this is the pace that the events and sales are ran on, and it's a lot. Okay, so in Meela's video at 23:24, this is where we get to the meat of the issue. And that is that Moose says that bloggers blog for the artistry, to have the access to the items that are new, for the fun of it, for the interest in what's going on. Why is it looked at like that for the bloggers? Why do brands look at bloggers like that? If the tables were turned and the blogger was looking at the brands, and a blogger said to a brand, hey, it shouldn't matter if you make any money. You're creating something. You're doing it for the artistry. It shouldn't matter if, people buy your product or not. The brands would look at the blogger like they were crazy. Why is it important or acceptable for a brand to make monetary value, for a brand to make money, but it is not acceptable for the blogger to make money? They're both doing a job. One is creating the item. The other one is pushing the item to social media, etc., to make sure the item sells. But they are both doing a job. They should both get money. That is my point. It's very weird for me to think one would get paid and the other one would not. I really feel like something needs to change with that. And I hope I make this next point clear. I hope I make my thought clear. Moose did state that some bloggers will take one photo. I guess that they will have 3 brands' items in the one photo. In essence, he is insinuating that not a lot of work went into taking all of these photos for all of these brands. It was only one photo that the blogger might have put 3 to 7 items from different brands in that one photo and was able to use that photo again and again. But he was like, but yet they're getting a fat pack from all of those brands. This is the interesting thing about this thought process here, about that concept, is that is exactly what the example is that Moose was saying that he does with bloggers. He makes one item, one fat pack, and he will distribute that among many bloggers. So he's creating one thing, but distributing that one thing among many. So that's the same thing that the blogger is doing with the one photo. So I'm just saying it's interesting. That's all I'm saying. The thing is that I would prefer to get paid to blog because, give me the lindens. Then if I want to buy one of your fat packs, that's cool. Or if I want to use that money to pay my rent or whatever, I'll do that. But I don't know, when you give somebody a fat pack, that's all they're getting. Somebody does a service, you pay them, you don't pay them with a fat pack. I get that it's a bartering thing, but the weird thing for me, the really strange thing is that the creator is getting lindens. The creator is earning lindens, but yet that opportunity for the blogger to earn lindens is just not there because they're expected to do the service because it's artistic. It's very strange. And Moose went on to say, when fat packs or items are given to the bloggers and they don't do anything with that item, like they don't do what they're supposed to do, they don't take the photos, they don't push it on social media. Moose was saying that it's a downer, it's difficult for business when bloggers don't do what they're supposed to do with the items, meaning that they don't take the photos, they don't meet the deadlines, they don't push on social media. All these things that are supposed to happen when you give the bloggers the items that are being released at an event. The only thing I have to say about that is that, again, I could kind of see people are letting their responsibilities slide because they're not getting any monetary value. I know I keep coming back to that, but that keeps going through my mind. I'm like, well, if these bloggers were paid, they would do it. But because they're not getting any monetary value, these things tend to slide. There's a motivation in place when somebody needs to pay for, like, say, the rent of their home in SL, or if they want a new home, or if they want to improve on their AVI. There's a motivation there to make those things happen. saying that somebody's doing something artistically can only take you so far. Realistically, things in SL costs lindens, and they need to be paid for somehow. Again, Meela brings up a good point with Moose in that she was asking, you know, what happens if a blogger does not like an item or a certain style of something you make? Are they still expected to cover that item? Now, I don't know. Realistically speaking, it's a job. If you like it or not, you should still do it. So I get that concept of it. Now, according to what Moose said, he said, yeah, I respect the fact that if they don't like something or like if they don't like the direction in which the store is going, I understand. But in essence, what would happen is over time, he would just stop using that person to blog. He would not want that blogger to continue working for them, which I understand. I get it. But on the flip side of things, the blogger is doing it for no pay. They get dropped if they don't like an item or if they don't feel like that item works with what the style of their blog or whatever is in. If it just doesn't meet with their style, they could also be dropped if they don't meet a deadline or if the photo is not exactly what the brand feels the photo should be. I know there's always exceptions to the rule, but it just seems like that there's a lot of obstacles or things the blogger has to deal with that the brand does not, meaning the blogger is always at a disadvantage. The brand is the entity that is holding all the cards. The brand is the entity that is controlling the situation, not the blogger. The blogger is not coming up to the brand saying, hey, you have to pay me this much for the service, or hey, this is my style, we're gonna do it this way, and if you don't like it, I'll drop you. No, it's not like that. The brands are saying that to the bloggers. The brands are saying that to the people that are providing a free service. Yeah, they're getting a fat pack, but like I said, if people aren't getting some type of monetary value, then they are doing it free, in my opinion. As far as Meela goes, thank goodness she put her opinion in there. She herself said in the video that the blogger-brand relationship is very clearly an employer-employee type relationship in SL, where in reality it should be even. There should be no employer-employee. It should be even. Both are helping each other. Both are equal. One is not lesser. Just because the creator is creating an item does not mean that the blogger is lesser. Without the bloggers, the creators would not be known and they wouldn't be selling anything. Meela brings up another good point, is that if the blogger is doing it for their artistic integrity or whatever, and for their artistic vision, why should the blogger compromise their vision if they don't like an item and put themselves in a predicament where they're going to get dropped by the brand? You know, like in other words, the blogger's doing it free, basically. So they should have free reign of using their artistic vision, and they should be able to say, hey, you know, I'm not feeling this item, can I skip it? Or hey, this line you released, the whole line, like, you know, it might be out for a month or so, but hey, I'm not feeling it, I'd like to skip this one. But see, the bloggers don't have the opportunity to say that, because Moose just said, and again, I'm sure Moose is not the only one. He's not the only brand looking at things like this. But, you know, Moose just said if the blogger is out for 3 weeks or more, that they will probably be dropped and replaced. Again, very interesting. To wrap this up, Moose said that for creators, it's their living, and for bloggers, it's a volunteer thing. And I guess what I have to say about that is, why does it have to be like that? Why can't bloggers make money from it and have it be a living also? It's just kind of a funny relationship. So yeah, you guys, I think throughout the video I've made my opinion pretty clear. I'm not trying to throw anyone under the bus, but I do have some strong opinions about the situation. And I'd be interested to know what anybody else's opinion is on it. You could leave it in the comment section below. Just as a reminder, I am going to leave the link for Meela's video that I was responding to in the description box, along with MUSU's store link if you wish to go there. Please do not give anybody any disparaging type comments based on anything you have seen or heard here. This video is only meant to be a commentary situation. It's not meant to be taken seriously. It's just to get a conversation going. If you wish to follow me on any of my social media, again, the links will be in the description box below. Maybe next time you see me, I won't have Christmas decorations up in my house. Who knows? Until the next video, you guys take care, and I will see you next time. Bye.